Dave here, JTL. Got a nice bass for you on a little Senko rig here. It's a little, probably 2-pounder, 2.5. He's got some darn shoulder, that's for sure. As you can see there, you know how big my hand is. You can see some shoulders on that fish, but that's not a bad fish by any means. I was just getting ready to go out and cut the grass there, and I decided to go and throw a rod, and picked up this little one. They've been spawning a little bit there, as you can see on the tail. It's got it all wore out there. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fish back in there. She's probably pregnant, I'm pretty sure, but just a little jig. I've been looking for those little tube weights that go right there in the inside the Senko, but I could not find it. And well, I guess when I finally did, it was about $3 or $4 a piece. So I decided to throw out a jig and try that. And I think that's 1/8 of an ounce, something like that, maybe a little bit bigger. But that's not a fish that I would complain with by any means. But let me go ahead and get her off of there. Like I said, this little Senko is just, I'm going to show you that here in a second. This little Senko is just a nice little rig. Very, very simple. All you got to do is throw it out there and let it float down, and it'll do its work. Senko is one of the most easiest lures to fish with. So I'm going to go ahead and give that girl a kiss. Mwah! And go ahead and toss her back. I've had her out a little bit long anyway, so little largemouth. Here we go. And there she goes. So the other day I had come out here and I threw that rig, and I got a hookup right away. And when I kind of, got a little ahead of myself there, and it was on 4-pound test. I wasn't expecting to pick her up there, and she broke the line. So I said I'll give it a little bit of time or whatever, no big deal, and come back and throw it again. And threw that Senko, a little pumpkin seed right there. Man, I tell you, that's fire. And just let it fall down. It wasn't 2 casts, half cast, something like that. And that purple, when you get dark water, this is kind of semi-clear, but once you get dark water, that purple just shows up. It shadows really good. So that's great for largemouth, and that's why I love it. And I like to use those red hooks, the laser hooks, because they're a thin wire hook, so they kind of give if you hook them into something. Because you're fishing such an exposed hook, you want to make sure that you have a thin wire hook so it bends out and you won't lose your worms, because the Senkos are kind of expensive if you get into them. I mean, they're pretty high quality ones. And this is one of those Strike Kings zero baits. I love it. I bought it, I don't know, like more than 10 years ago, and it's just been in the bag. I bought them on clearance. And it's just been in, if you haven't seen my video on my tackle bag, just go back through, search it, it's there. You'll see all the kind of stuff that I have in there. Sometimes I'll throw the kitchen sink at them. Sometimes I'll throw one specific thing. Now that I know that she loves this Senko, I'll go out and get more. I've run through one whole bag of Senkos in like 3 weeks because they've been hitting them like crazy. I have another one that's white. It's kind of a cream or pearl color, and I haven't thrown those yet, but like I said, I know that pumpkin works, so it's so close to the hatch colors, and then it's spring at the same time. So I'm just going to show you the rig here that I'm using. Just a spinning reel, and this is one of probably 10 or so reels that I use. Strangely enough, I don't really use bait casting reels. I use spinners, open face, some people call them, spinning reels. Just kind of personal preference, no other reason than that. And efficiency. So you can go just about anywhere and you'll have those big casters. Seem to me they're about $100 or so. You can find something cheaper than that, but you know, you get what you pay for when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and try it again here. Hopefully we can get one on the video. That would be nice. And maybe let that water, I just let it rest for a second there. Now I'm using 12-pound or 10-pound test mono on this reel. And as you've seen there, I get a little bit of twisting at the tip. If you use a high quality reel, or I've heard if you use Reel Magic, so I'm just going to let that set out there. I just casted it out. I'm going to let it sit there, and I'm going to wash the line. But I've heard if you use Reel Magic, you'll get better activity out of your line, and it'll kind of soften it up a little bit so it doesn't get all of that looping, as you can see right there. If you buy a braid, you won't have that problem. But braid doesn't stretch, it doesn't give. So when you hook up on something, it snaps and breaks right away, but otherwise it really doesn't give. Like mono gives a little bit. It's got a little abrasion resistance to it. So you can see that better than you can on I think I got a bite here. I think I got one. Nope. But you can see that abrasion resistance on mono more than you can on braid. At least I can. So basically that's some tips that you want to do, you know, especially too when you're lining your spools on your spinning reels. Only line them up to 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the reel there, from the edge of the spool, so that way you won't have it just kind of spinning off. It'll kind of spool off of there when you cast out like that. But yeah, so all right, so I'm gonna go ahead. If I get another one on, I'll get back to you guys. JTO, like I said, if you haven't checked me out, go on Facebook, check it out. Got a lot of stuff, got a lot of old videos. Been fishing a lot here, so I'm trying to get more on for you guys. But check you guys later. JTO.